most important thing that you guys can do for your new people is within the first 24 hours of them enrolling and them becoming officially ID number in hand, that you help them contact 5 people. It's hands down the most critical thing you can do. It's more important than anything else, because that's the part that they're going to mess up if you don't do it. They're going to invite the way they feel comfortable inviting. They're going to invite to the information they want to invite to. They're going to say the words that make sense to them. And just like anything else, if they've never done this before, there's a learning curve for what they may want to do. Like your kids, I remember my kids when they were younger, they didn't want to wear a life jacket, right? Even though they knew to swim, they didn't want to wear the life jacket. And we would force them to wear the life jacket because as adults, parents, we knew what they didn't know. We knew the intangibles. And so as an experienced network marketer, you know things that the new people don't know. And if you allow them to jump into the network marketing water without you as their life preserver, their life jacket, they're going to sink. Hey, everyone. Welcome back to the podcast for another week of the Freedom Factory. This week's topic is maybe repetitive for some of you, but for a lot of you, I think you need to hear this because you're probably not doing it, maybe avoiding it, but it's super important. And that is the critical steps, the critical activity, first steps when you bring on a new business partner. So many people are customer focused, and if that's what they want, that's great. But the Freedom Factory is about leverage. It's about building a business. It's about how to help you guys get what you want out of your network marketing opportunity. And most of you, if you have found your way here, are looking to probably replace your income and maybe do even something more significant than that financially. And that's going to come from you bringing on partners and then benefiting from the leverage of who they know and their networks. This is about networks. And so, so many of us, myself included, have wasted time and maybe even having business partners join us where we maybe avoided some of the activities that we should have done that would have helped us grow our organizations. And many times we'll get a new business partner and we spend time with them, training them in the back office, like figuring out how to set up their back office, showing them how to track their business, showing them all of the nuances of the apps. And so it can be a lot because technology is pretty prevalent now. And we usually are using multiple apps, multiple websites, and it's a lot for the new person. So it does take time. You can't rush through that stuff. If your team has websites, they need to know about it. If your team has weekly Zoom meetings, they need to know about it. All of that stuff, right? Plus, your new person is going to have this internal desire to want to know everything about the products before they start talking to people. And that is what this topic is about today, this podcast. And that is avoiding that gaping hole in time that's going to happen with your new people if you don't get them out of the gates quickly. So I'm going to cut right to the chase. The most important thing that you guys can do for your new people is within the first 24 hours of them enrolling and them becoming officially ID number in hand, that you help them contact 5 people. It's hands down the most critical thing you can do. It's more important than anything else because that's the part that they're going to mess up if you don't do it. They're going to invite the way they feel comfortable inviting. They're going to invite to the information they want to invite to. They're going to say the words that make sense to them. And just like anything else, if they've never done this before, there's a learning curve for what they may want to do. Like your kids, I remember my kids when they were younger, they didn't want to wear a life jacket, right? Even though they knew to swim, they didn't want to wear the life jacket. And we would force them to wear the life jacket because as adults, parents, we knew what they didn't know. We knew the intangibles. And so as an experienced network marketer, you know things that the new people don't know. And if you allow them to jump into the network marketing water without you as their life preserver, their life jacket, they're going to sink. So the most critical thing you can do is helping them make those first, I say 5 reach outs. So it could be a phone call. A lot of times people today are not answering phone calls. So maybe it's 5 text messages, or maybe it's 5 direct messages. Either way, you need to help them engage through, and not just send 5 invites and you're done. You need to help them through those 5 conversations. And really, I have found that if you're going to get a significant business partner, like if you're going to get someone that's going to really help you grow your business, it is going to end up in a phone call. As sooner or later, it goes from text messaging to a phone call. So I would prefer you guys have 5 phone calls, 5 reach outs with people, with your new people. Help them make those 5 reach outs with your newest people and help them kind of go through that really rough, awkward stage, because if you don't, they are going to mess it up. They're going to mess it up even if you're sitting beside them. The difference is if you're sitting beside them, you can guide them before you make the next call. You can say, okay, here's what you did good. Here's what you need to change. Let's do it again. Okay. It's like anything else. It's like a sport. It's like practicing music. It's like anything you've ever done before. You're going to be bad before you're good and good before you're great at this business. And most people will take the path of least resistance, and it does not end up the way you want it to go. So making those phone calls. Now, when you sit with them, set the right expectations for them. Let them know, hey, here's probably what they're going to ask, right? And I always tell my people, if someone is asking you a question, like if they say, well, Brandon, what is it? Like if I'm inviting someone to take a look at our company and our opportunity, and they say, Brandon, what is it? Just what are you talking about? What is it? That is a good thing. When someone asks a question, that's a good thing. That means they're interested. Interest is good. That's what you want. You're not looking for someone to immediately say yes without asking any questions. That just doesn't happen once in a moon, right? Like it's not going to happen on a regular basis, right? So most of the time, people are going to want to ask questions, do some research. So be prepared for that is what I'm saying. Be prepared for what is it? And so when I sit down with the newest person, that's what I want to help them understand. I want them to know what's coming before it happens. I want them to be prepared. And if they're prepared and then they say, if the contact says the very thing you said they were going to say, like you've told your new person, hey, they're going to say either what is it, or is it one of those things, or hey, I'm just too busy, or how much does it cost? I mean, these are the things they're going to say. If you make the phone call and that's what they say, your newest person is going to feel like, okay, I'm prepared. They told me this is what was going to happen. And it doesn't mean they're going to say the right thing. Even if you've prepared them to say the right thing, it doesn't mean they're going to say the right thing, but you're there with them. Now, you may say, well, wait a second. My newest business partner lives 500 miles from me. How am I going to do that? That's easy. Get on Zoom together. You and the new business partner get on Zoom, have them make the phone call on speakerphone, and you just mute. You just listen to the conversation just like you would be right there beside them, just helping them through. Okay. When the call ends, you coach them. You tell them, hey, okay, this is what you said. Should have said this. Do you feel comfortable making the next phone call, and get a little bit of information about the person on the next phone call? Maybe guide them through, like, oh, you kind of like said these words. Like, for instance, if you're trying to put the information in front of someone, you should never say, do me a favor. Will you do me a favor? Or will you take the time? That sounds like they kind of, we're asking for something from them, or maybe they owe us something. Like, don't do that, because then that puts them in a position where they feel like it's costing them time or some type of effort to be a part of this conversation. You want to position the conversation as if you're doing them a favor, not do me a favor. Hey, like, I'm going to do you a favor and tell you about this. Like, I don't say those exact words, but what I would say is, listen, I've come across something that is absolutely blowing my mind. You need to look at this video. You should jump on this Zoom. That's how I position it. And so you will coach your new people to that, because they're going to make the mistakes. So you sitting with them is so critical. And it's something that most people are not doing. And the other thing is, in the first 24 hours, don't do this 3 days later, because you know what's going to happen if you do it 3 days later. They're going to go talk to the people anyway. They're going to go talk to people, and they are absolutely going to mess up. Messing up's okay, as long as you're learning from the mistake. Messing up over and over and over is teaching yourself bad habits. It's teaching yourself the wrong things to do. And so by doing this, you empower your new person, and it starts to set a pattern for what they should do. So when they get their first business partner, they'll remember, hey, so-and-so, Brandon sat with me or got on a Zoom with me and helped me get out of the gates, kind of gave me some direction on a system. And so that's the other thing too, is all of you should have an onboarding system. We do, it's called ITT, Invite Tool Team. And we get to explain while we're going through those 5 invites. Okay, this portion was the I, like this was the invite, right? The tool, right, was the video you shared. Now the third step is the team. And so we're always trying to show them, don't just stop with, it's a 3-step system, right? You don't stop with the second part. You've got to get to the third part. You've got to get to all the way through the system if the system is going to work. It's critical that when you're starting out with a new person, when you're launching them, that they understand there is a system, and they also understand if they don't follow the system, they're probably not going to get the results they want. So by doing this, guys, you are going to save yourself so much time. You're going to save yourself so much frustration, and you're also going to just be adding fuel to the fire when your organization starts to do exactly this with their people. Can you imagine if you bring in 5 people and you do this for all 5 of them? When they bring in their very first person, right? Now you've got 5 of these trainings happening that you're not doing anymore. And you guys have done the math, right? 5 by 5, 5 times 5 is 25. Times 5 is 125, right? It starts to really, really explode with numbers and the power of numbers when you're doing simple behaviors. Every one of you can do 5 reach outs or 5 phone calls with your newest person in the first day. Every one of you. In fact, if they go, oh, I'm busy for the next couple of days. No, don't listen to that. Because all that is setting the tone is that, you got to have this big block of time to go do 5 phone calls. That's not true. I can do 5 phone calls in 5 minutes, 60 seconds. Like, we can't. It's going to probably take longer than that, because the person's going to be, you got little chit chat. There's going to be questions, but literally 15 minutes, 20 minutes, no more than 30, and 5 phone calls in 30 minutes. Easy. And so when someone says, I'm busy, got to work for the, no. If they do that, you need to step back and say, okay, tell me again why you joined this business. And what you need to do is circle back to their why. Circle back to why they're doing this. Because if out of the gates, they're going to be pushing you off 2 or 3 days, I mean, out of the gates, come on. That's like starting a diet on Monday and eating chocolate cake at lunch on Monday. Like, come on, we're waiting till Monday to start the diet and you're already eating chocolate cake by lunchtime. It's probably not going to go so well. If someone signs up with you and they're pushing you off 3 days before they do anything, it's probably not going to go so well for them. So that's why you need to circle back with them and say, no, you've probably missed the point here. This doesn't take hours. That's the beauty of this business. Let's make these phone calls and get it all done in 20 minutes. Let's do this in 20 minutes. When do you have 20 minutes? And if someone doesn't have 20 minutes, they're lying to you because they scroll for more than 20 minutes a day. Okay. And if they're legitimately saying, I don't have 20 minutes, I would tell you then you need to categorize that person as someone you're going to love on, but don't expect anything out of them. Go enroll someone else, because obviously they don't have enough motivation in their life to find the 20 minutes. They're scrolling in their social media or their television programs, or something is more important, because every human on this earth has 20 minutes a day to do something that's important. That's the key, is it important? And so your job as the new business partner is to, one, help them with those first phone calls. They're going to get probably knocked down pretty hard in those first phone calls. Be the one that helps lift them up, encourage them, tell them it was okay. Tell them your story. Here's what happened to me. Here's how I handle it. And then help them make the next phone call. And if they're super, super, super nervous about this, like if they just don't, out of their mind nervous, why don't you lead the way by you doing an invite yourself? Show them how to do it. You pick up the phone and you call someone as the new business, as the partner that just enrolled someone, right? You've been in the business. You just brought someone into the business. Be prepared on that day for you to do a reach out. Show them how you invite. So maybe they can see, oh, that wasn't so bad. We lead by example in this business, guys. So many people are not doing this. And I really, really think that if you implement just this one thing and then encourage it in your team, it will make a massive, massive difference. Getting people out of the gates is critical. If you don't, they're going to develop bad habits. If you don't, they're going to put it off. If you don't, they may engage, but do it completely wrong. And none of those scenarios you want in your organization. You've worked so hard to get this new business partner. Just get them started the right way. Don't let them, in every conversation, someone's buying and someone's selling. If they tell you they're too busy, don't buy that. They're selling you. They're too busy to make phone calls for the next 3 days. Don't buy that. Don't buy that. Circle back to why they did this business. Ask them truly what they want out of this business. Because if it's big enough, if it's important enough what they want, like if it's for their children, you're telling me you can't find 20 minutes extra in a day to help your children, help your family? Your child or your family is not worth you not scrolling on your phone or watching a television program? Come on, guys. Like, circle back to that. Help them understand what we're trying to accomplish. Help them. You're here not to help them sell anything. You're here to help them reach that goal. This is the first step. Kind of like holding their hand. They're going to be fearful. That's the importance of coaching and mentoring in this business. You guys have done this already. Now help the new people do it. Do not leave it up to themselves, because they will find the wrong way or no way at all. So I hope this was a simple one today, but it's one that I think most people are missing. So the next time you guys bring a new business partner on, within 24 hours, 5 conversations. Help them, show them the system. And I say 5 because that's usually all it takes before they get it and they're like, okay, I got the system. But if by the 5th one, they're still don't understand the system that your team uses, the onboarding system to get a new customer or a new consultant, if by the 6th one they still don't get it, guess what? You do as many as you must do until they got it. Oh, that's right. Okay. Once we've sent the video, the next step is following up and getting them in front of someone. The third step, the team, right? Or whatever your teams do, whatever the steps are, right? Because again, if they're not doing the entire system, then they're not going to get the results, right? They need to understand that. So have a great week, guys, and we'll talk to you next week.